Okay, let's talk about something real. You know that feeling? When you have to speak English and your heart just starts pounding? Yeah, that one. If you've ever felt that, I want you to know you are so not alone. And in this explainer, we're going to dive into that feeling and, more importantly, figure out how to find your confidence.
So, does this sound familiar? You're about to speak, and suddenly, your mind is totally blank, right? You start worrying, what if I forget the word? Or what if I can't keep the conversation going? Maybe you even feel your face get all hot. It's that awful moment where you just freeze. Trust me, we have all been there.
First things first, I need you to hear this loud and clear. It is absolutely okay to feel this way. Seriously, this feeling is 100% normal. You know, even people who are amazing at English get super nervous when they try to speak a different language. So the biggest takeaway here is there's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. You're just learning.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start with the big one. Will people laugh at me? Then we'll talk about what to do when things get kind of hard. After that, I've got a super simple action plan for you. And finally, we're going to unlock the most powerful tool you have, your own mind.
All right, let's jump right into the biggest fear, the one that stops so many people. Are people going to laugh at me? Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. In a real, actual conversation with someone, this almost never, ever happens. It's so rare.
Okay, so check this out. This is a true story, a real mistake someone made. So, this woman goes into a butcher shop, right? She wanted to tell the butcher that she missed him while he was on vacation. But what she actually said was, I missed his meat, which in American slang means something completely different, like way more personal. And you know what? It was hilarious. But the key thing is, nobody was mean. They laughed with her, not at her.
And that's really the point, isn't it? Mistakes can actually be funny, and they're just a totally normal part of learning a language. Look, most people are genuinely friendly. They see you trying, and they actually want to help you out. So try to think of a mistake not as some huge failure, but more like a free lesson. A funny one sometimes.
Okay, but we need to talk about something important, the huge difference between real life and the internet. In person, face-to-face, people are almost always supportive. But on social media, oh man, people leave hate comments on videos of, like, kittens. Kittens! So if you ever see a mean comment online about your English, please remember, that's not about you. It's about them. It says nothing about your skills.
Okay, let's move on to the next big fear. What do you do when a conversation suddenly gets really hard? You know that moment? You're talking about something simple, and then bam, they start talking about like economics or something, and you just feel the panic set in.
So, let me ask you a question. Just for a normal, everyday chat in English, how many words do you think you actually need? Go on, take a guess. 1 million? 50,000? What number pops into your head?
You ready for the answer? It's 1,000. That's it, just 1,000 words. With that, you can understand about 86% of most normal conversations. Isn't that wild? I bet that's way less than you were thinking. And that is seriously good news.
So what does that actually mean for you? Well, hey, if you can understand what I'm saying right now, you probably know enough words to have a good conversation. And for those really specific, tricky topics, you usually only need to pick up like 5 to 7 new words. And you know what? It is always okay to just ask, hey, what does that mean? Or you can just whip out your phone and translate a word. That's not cheating, my friend. That is just being smart.
All right, so we've talked a lot about the fear. Now it's time to actually do something about it. I'm going to give you a super simple action plan, stuff you can literally start doing today. Okay, here it is, your 3 steps. Number 1, pretend you're a character. Seriously, act like your favorite confident movie star. It's a little mind trick that totally works. Number 2, feel the fear and do it anyway. Being nervous is fine, just don't let it stop you. And number 3, practice. That's it. The more you speak, the more normal it feels. It really is that simple.
You know, the basketball legend Michael Jordan said something amazing about this. He said, being nervous isn't bad. It just means something important is happening. I love that. So next time you feel those butterflies in your stomach, don't think of it as a bad sign. Think of it as a good sign. It just means you're pushing yourself and doing something that really matters.
Okay, we're at our last section. And honestly, this one could be the most important part of this whole thing. Because the real fight isn't with vocabulary or grammar rules. The biggest battle, it happens right inside your own head.
So let's look at 2 ways to think about this. On one side, you have the fixed idea, right? My English is bad. That thought just keeps you trapped.
But then, look at the other side, the growth idea. Instead of, my English is bad, you think, my English is getting better every day. Instead of, I'm scared of making mistakes, you think, hey, this conversation is just practice. Can you actually feel the difference in those thoughts? That tiny change in how you think? It can change absolutely everything. So, at the end of the day, what's the big secret? It's pretty simple. Just be nice to yourself. Learn to laugh when you make a funny mistake. And please remember, one conversation is not a test. It's not going to make or break your life. Life is simple. Let's not make it so hard on ourselves, you know?
So there you have it. You have the tools, you have the plan, you are ready. So I'm just going to leave you with one final question to think about. What is the very first thing you're going to talk about in your next English conversation? Really think about it. And then, go out and do it. You can totally do this.